got a fun-filled show
Get
tonight.
hot. I met a boy today.
It's your boy, Coach Career, the General, A60 Army.
She loving my style every time I'm
You ain't need more money, Tito. You could have just invited 6 or 8 you down to Nationals.
I'm around. She caught me
When certain people don't get their way or they feel slighted, they feel like they have a right to call us and voice their opinion. You don't.
The hood, we locked the
Clear.
street.
I've never removed a staff to allow a staff to move up.
No,
Never.
that's not what I'm saying. Now everybody's a personal trainer. We know who the originals are, but now if you look, you can find them in every town.
What up? It's your boy PH the Prez, Mr. Above 140. Tito, season 6. We here. And I'm here with the co-host.
It's your boy, Coach Career, the General, A60 Army.
And we are back.
Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year. Back. We back like we left something. Y'all know what it is. We took off like almost a month.
No, like 3 weeks. And trust me, we could have took another one. I was ready for one more.
We should have took another one.
We could have took another one, cuz.
But we here.
We could have took another
All
one.
things being considered, we here. Things are going well. Welcome, everyone. It's a new year. We got some very, very exciting topics to talk about. Oh, I'm missing something. Hold on. Y'all know what I'm missing, right? It won't be a good year if I don't do it right. Here we go. Now it's officially a podcast. Anyway, top of the year. So you've been doing the recap on college playoff, brother.
Yes, sir. It's been fun. Obviously, with the panel, Ty Carter and Jalen Rivera. It's been fun just to keep us engaged in some football talk. Because at the end of the day, you know, my real agenda with all of this is the football at the end of the day, even though I've done other things successful with the administration and now with the podcast and the forum, you know, us pushing the culture forward. But really what this is about and always been about for me is coaching football and teaching young men how to become better football players and try to teach them to become better people, period. But that's besides the point. I think we're ready to rock, player. All the shares is out. Let's get to it.
So, Tito, Pop Warner has announced new leadership.
Yep.
We put it up on the screen. Welcome to the president and the new CEO of Pop Warner, Steve Strawbridge Jr. It looks like Tito that he if you read a little bit more of it, it looks like he used to be, he was the chief administrative officer for the Pro Football Hall of Fame out in Ohio, I believe. And he also served as the director of merchandising for the Philadelphia Eagles. It seems, Tito, that we have somebody in Pop Warner that can oversee monetizing the brand a little bit better. Am I reading that wrong? It says, when I think of merchandising, I think of somebody that can monetize your brand.
Well, yeah, absolutely. How is he putting the brand in front of the public? I think that's more what that means. I would assume he had everything to do with the marketing of the Eagles at the stadium over there at the, you know, I'm not an Eagles fan. I'm sure Trevor tell you what their stadium's called, but I'm sure it was his job to get their colors and the brand out there to the people. I would think that's what merchandising means, right?
I think that's the marketing department. Merchandising to me would be what they sell.
Yeah, right. Like jerseys.
I could be wrong, but it seemed like
apparel.
Yep.
Whatever they're doing on the stores that are around that area over there, I'm sure they're in that.
Strawbridge managed the operations, the sales and oversight and enshrinement week. And oversight of enshrinement week, including the annual NFL game, ceremonies, the concert. He oversaw the construction. This is interesting. The construction of youth fields for the National Youth Football and Sports Complex and the 23,000 seat Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. What is that? That's a youth field? Is that where that Youth Hall of Fame game happens?
I think so, because if you read further, he was part of the Pro Football Hall of Fame game, which is that tournament that goes on in December, I believe. December or late November or January. Daryl Sebastian could tell you. I believe Daryl Sebastian brought teams there.
What's up, Jerry?
What up, Jerry? What's going on? Happy New Year. I'm pretty sure Daryl Sebastian played in that game a couple times. I'm sure he could fill us in on it in the comments if he's watching. So that's a tournament that's been around for some time. Obviously, he's a Pennsylvania guy. I mean, it makes sense to me why they went in this direction. Hopefully, with everything them taking a step forward last year, at least in my opinion, with the national tournament, hopefully this means better things are to come.
Anyway, I guess everybody nationwide should, if you're not, you should be wishing the best for Steve and his new role. And I guess it would serve all of us.
He took over Butler's position, or this is a new position.
He took over Butler's position.
Okay.
Greg Pittman, what up, bro?
What's going on, Greg?
So that goes with a post that was made. That goes with a post that was made early in the week, and it's what would we like to see in 2025 as far as youth football locally and nationally. There was a lot of discussion about the national tournament, and I think often times, Tito, people get it wrong. Not wrong. Let me not say wrong. It's not a right or wrong thing. I don't think you should be suggesting changes to a tournament that you've been there your first time or second. I can see why a person would attend National Pop Warner for the first time and say, oh, well, why does it cost this much? And let's see changes. They would not understand that a person like myself in a program that been down there 8 years in a row, that this has been one of the cheapest years if you did your trip right. If you didn't go do the party, in the past the party was mandatory, and remember Tito was that 527 or 523 that wasn't there. If you talk about the fact, Tito, that you did not have to stay at a bus hub hotel, so that was another way to save money. There was no universal passes or nothing involved. You could have stripped that out. That was another way to save money. And so people could have actually gotten a trip for, you could have brought a team for $12, $13, $14, $15,000, which was never like it was in the past. It was $30,000, $40,000 for a team.
I saw one bill from a program's total cost from a local program around the way was only $11,000.
And so,
that's by far the cheapest. That is by far the cheapest I've ever heard.
Can be set up the meeting?
I've ever heard. That's the cheapest I ever heard a program get down there for. Was $11,000 total. What up, Paver?
Goodness. And so if there was changes you would like to see, what would they be, if any?
I'm biased in this situation because because of my situation in Orlando.
Not with not moving locations.
Right.
Everybody would like to go back to ESPN Wide World of Sports. Yeah, we know that.
I don't have a problem with the venue. Like, I like the venue because it's in my backyard. Like, so it's tough for you to get a neutral opinion from me because it's 10 minutes from my doorstep. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't have a problem with it. I like the setup. Phil, I told you the only issue I had this year, and it wasn't even an issue, but Field 1 could have been better.
Right.
Field 1 But we also know the struggles they were dealing with the Hurricanes. The rest of those fields were perfect. The locations of the fields with the stadium in the backdrop, it was all dope. I took a couple pictures of all different angles of the fields, bro. It was dope. I mean, the picture I gave you of Larry Myers when he was playing on Fort Myers, I took that picture from watching him come in the end zone. Show me a better shot than that at any of these tournaments with that in your backdrop with Campbell. I mean, I don't have a problem with the tournament. I thought competitively, this was the best year it was in years. From a competing standpoint, there was great games all week. There was great teams there all week. All week. I mean, I've been there 3 of the 4 years. Out of the 4 years that I know what's going on there, I felt this was the best year. Could it be because I had no teams involved for once and I was basically on vacation? That could be part of it. But I thought it was by far the best year of the football on the field and the organization of the tournament. Now, is there still things they got to work out? Yeah, the food situations all could be better. Things could be better. But do you go down there for the food or we going down there to watch the football? You get what I'm saying? Like,
40K in Jupiter, Florida is crazy. What is he talking about?
I have no idea.
Phil, I don't know what you're talking about, Phil. Fill me in. Wish I could have watched more games. Trevor, you could have.
You could have.
You wasn't coaching, brother. You could have pulled
Yeah,
up.
you could have been. I mean, I know it was your first time, but you should have been there the whole week.
Trust me. You're the president. You weren't the head coach. Newsflash. Leave your head coaches and go watch you some football, bro. Let them deal with the headaches. You deal with the headaches all year. That 1 week, they need to be in charge of their team.
After
the last days of the event, they cleared out all the vendors and it looked sad and deserted.
I agree. Oh, we talked about that.
We did.
That's what I said. The food situation could have been better down the stretch, even though we found a hidden gem right around the corner.
Hey, listen, y'all.
We found a hidden gem right around the corner. Right around the corner.
Soul food restaurant 4 minutes from the stadium.
Right around the corner.
Oh, I'm not going to release the name yet. Maybe next year we'll release the name.
Yeah, because I want to be able to get in and out. We was able to get in and out. Us and the Boston brothers, we know exactly where it's at. We know exactly.
In, out, problem. Soul food restaurant.
I'm gonna be back over there on Thursday, and I already told my moms I'm going over there, get some pig feet and all that. I'm on my way.
I had the candy yams.
I'm on my way.
I had the turkey wings.
I don't understand why that was my one thing down the stretch. Like that was not that. What happened with the food there on the stretch, and I got a feeling what happened. Like cats knew it wasn't all day flow, and they said, "Nah, I'm not setting up for that. I'm not setting."
Barbecue truck was sold out.
Yeah, when it was on, it wasn't on Friday and Saturday. They had nothing going. We had to go around the corner 2 days in a row. You should, Trev. You should. I think it'll give you a different outlook on everything else. I think your list of questions will go. You'll understand it a little more.
Right. Hey, so Trev, since you're on, speaking of that, we're talking about what would we like to see in 2025. And I know you had put up a post with a lot of things and a lot of changes.
A laundry list.
And part of me was saying to myself, Trev, you knew, bro, this was a good year. Like, I know you're new, and for you, you would have liked to see a lot of things, and you're entitled to want to see changes, right? We all are. But in my mind, I was going, bro, this was a good year.
Very good year.
This was a quality of teams compared to year 1 and year 2 and what we dealt with the fields and all that.
From an on the field football perspective, you couldn't ask for a better week of football. The weather wasn't the greatest. I mean, besides that,
that might have been the worst thing about the tournament.
Right. You couldn't ask for a better on the field product this year, from my opinion. There was a lot of.
It was a better year, Kevy. It was a better year. It was a better year. It was a better year. The games were very good. Wayne, what up, Wayne?
What's good, Wayne?
And so I wanted to clear something up, Tito. And I wasn't going to go in this direction, but let's go in this direction because a lot of it was based on the chat that was put up, right? About we oftentimes talk about wanting to see changes nationally because what we perceive is happen regionally. Let me say something to all of y'all out there that keep pushing a false narrative that the Eastern region plays a regional championship game and the winner goes Division 1 and the loser goes Division 2. Clearly, y'all don't do your homework on the Eastern region and they regional brackets. Because Tito, if you go to the Eastern region regional brackets,
no, I know it's I
have
knew that 4 years
Division 1
ago.
and Division 2.
I know that 4 years ago. Like, right? I don't know.
And we in New England, every time we lose or something happen, we oftentimes bring up, well, we want to do what because they can send one. They're not sending Division 1 teams into Division 2 after a loss. Now, they may send teams that you perceive to be able to play Division 1 and allow them into Division 2, i.e., if the New England region was to allow the Hartford Hurricanes in Division 2, we went down to Nationals and people would say, yo, the Hurricanes belong in Division 1. That might be happening. But it is not true that they're only taking 2 teams at every level and the winner go D1 and the loser represents at D2. I'm just saying that is not a true narrative. And I kind of want to kill that narrative because, and I'm going to tell you why I want to kill a narrative. When people start to believe, and that's their perception will become reality. Then they'll be advocating that in our region. And so now we're being advocated to do something that actually nobody else is doing. But since it's been said so many thousands of times without any truth and facts, it starts to become our reality. Now, let me tell you what that would mean in New England. That probably would have meant, Tito, at 13U, it probably would have been Malden and Bloomfield. No, excuse me. It probably would have been West Haven and, let's say, Bloomfield, which means Malden and who the other team? Who did West Haven play? Drake.
Water Oak. Drake. Water Oak. Drake it to Water Oak.
Those 2 teams would not have the opportunity to play for a regional title game. Like, if you do that at every level, you're actually Xing out a large amount of teams. You figure 2 at every level. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Division 1, that's 12 teams. That's 24 teams that won't get to play for a regional chip. That's not good. Sean, when you say you saw that in Pennsylvania, what level? And I'll prove you wrong right now, brother. Tell me what level you saw them play and took Division 1 and then Division 2.
You got to understand. I don't think what they understand is that how they do it. And this is where the confusion is.
I'm not talking about championships. I'm talking about regional championships.
Right. The regionals. These teams are declared D1 or D2 before the season. Now, you can have 6 teams in your organization. 3 of them may be D1, 3 of them may be D2. I hope that kind of the way they do it is based on your year before, whatever you did the year before, and that shows you where you fall the following year.
But they allow, like, I will say this: what's different about the Eastern region is they allow, they would allow Hartford to do 2 teams at every level and put 1 in Division 1 and 1 in Division 2.
That's what I'm saying.
Chase,
that's where the confusion.
Listen, West Chase had a Division 1s and Division 2s. West Chase had program had 2 teams at every level.
I think anytime you go to a tournament, you start hearing when people start talking in the stands, people oftentimes take that as law. And we know usually you're in the stands for a reason. There's a reason why you're in the stands and you don't really know what's going on between the lines. Like, that's one of those deals. You hear the gossip, people start to spread it, and all of a sudden it becomes factual where it's nowhere near the facts.
All right. Sean Noble said 11U. Let me do something real quick, Tito. Sean, I'm going to prove to you what I'm talking about. Tito, Eastern Region 11U Division 1 bracket. Abington represented Division 1, right?
Yep.
They beat the Parkside Saints. according to their theory, Parkside should be at Division 2.
Right.
But when you go to the Division 2 11U, you had Lower Perk. This is a whole nother bracket, Tito, and Parkside don't even exist in here. So it's not true that they just took the winner and the loser and then sent them down to nationals. There was a whole nother Division 2 bracket here.
I agree, Dustin. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that a little later.
And we're about to get into that. I want to move past that. Let's start talking about some things. What about locally, Tito? Because locally, I think I will locally I would like to see Pop Warner, and I think it's going to happen. I'm hopeful that it'll happen. Locally, I would like to see Pop Warner add a couple more teams to the Connecticut areas to kind of filter out. I would like to see everybody kind of go back to their boundaries, closer to their boundaries. And I'm talking Pop Warner right now. I don't think this year, Tito, and I can't speak for every league. Leagues can do what they want. I don't think there's going to be many, if any, crossover games between Pop Warner and AYF this season.
No,
I think Pop Warner has.
There's too much. There's too much going on. There's way too much going on. Way too much speculation out there. I think for 2025, that's done data. That's a done deal.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just.
I know that won't take place in.
It don't make sense. It doesn't make sense because you know what? I've had my own issues with Pop Warner in the past, but sometimes it's good knowing you're playing in the league where there's structure and there's actual boundaries, and if you do some low frequency things are going to happen to you. So I just think at this point there's too much. I just think it doesn't make sense anymore. It doesn't make sense anymore.
Would someone be able to bring in one team for an age group? Dustin, are you asking, would we allow someone to just bring in 112U all-star team and play in like Central or Southern or Northern? Answer that. How long does it take for an event form to get approved? It depends. It depends on your league. It depends on the region. It depends on how long they leave. But you could get one. Look, they ask for about a week and a half to 2 weeks. And that's only because it's 3 layers, right, Sean? Your league signs, the regional football commissioner gets it, and then it goes down to national, or the regional director, I'm not sure what and then it goes to nationals just for sign off, right? And so you need time for that process to take place. So you wouldn't want to do it Thursday when you know Friday. But I think if you give your region and your league enough time, most of them get approved and not get done. Not an all-star team, a local homegrown team.
Are you asking just to bring one? I think he's asking if he could bring one team in and represent as an organization, meaning would any league consider a one-off? That's what I believe he's trying to say.
What program is Dustin from?
Wallingford. The Vikings.
All right, Dustin, I would likely say with a promise to grow the following year, they may entertain it. However, I'm speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for the whole state of Connecticut. I don't know what Northern Connecticut Pop Warner will do. They could do whatever they want to do anyway. I don't know what Mike will do from Southern and what they'll vote on. I will tell you that in Central, we are shying away from the one town, one team programs. There's no longevity in it, and our goal is to build programs that'll be long lasting, right, Dustin? We want you around for 15, 20, 30 years like a lot of the Pop Warner teams. No, I got you. I'm not saying I'm not saying you would take in that program, but if you were going to start something up in Wallingford and you planned on saying, hey, Phil, we're going to start with this one team. I got a good group of kids, and then next year we're going to try to grow. We have done that, Dustin. So the answer is yes. We did that with Springfield this year.
Dustin, just hit me in the messenger, and we'll definitely chop it up about.
But just to answer you, Dustin, we did that with Springfield Cowboys, and now this year I hope Springfield will come back with 2 or 3 teams. So we did let them start with 110U, and then we're trying to help them grow. And Dustin, we hopefully can assist you in that growth process, right? Any resources we have to help you grow and promote in your area, we try to do that. So yeah, definitely reach out, and if it's something you want to do, let's see if we can help you out, brother. We would love to grow the family, so definitely. So yeah, so Tito, I think that would be the case. Look at big X behind me, Tito. Which way?
Yeah, no.
Just ran. But
hopefully, I was there in real time.
I know. Hopefully, I would like to see the Pop Warner family grow a little bit.
I think Pop Warner will grow in 2025. That's my prediction. I think there's going to be some organizations coming back. I think there's better days ahead for Pop Warner. I just got a weird feeling. I think Central is moving in the right direction for sure. I think Southern had a better year. I think, we know Northern's solid. I think Risma's going to be Risma. I mean, Northeast obviously is going to grow. I'm hearing a lot of rumors Northeast is going to grow. I don't know if it's true. I mean, I think I
think Northeast might be even growing up into New Hampshire, is what I'm hearing from some of the New Hampshire teams that want to come down to the Jamboree. And so I think that'd be dope to add New Hampshire to the mix. That'd be crazy.
Well, that was
shout out to Randy Lester. He was the president of the Springfield Cowboys. That Springfield 10U was a solid team. They was.
No, they weren't. Yeah, they weren't. They shocked me. They shocked. When I saw them play, I was surprised. I thought for first-year program, they would have first-year struggles. They competed at the 10U. Hopefully, there's room to grow. I think they will grow this year with everything that's going on in his backyard. I believe he's got a chance to grow this year. Gary, go ahead. You bringing the whole Bridgeport? I heard Bridgeport wide open. That's the word on the street.
I'm bringing my own team, Gary. Make it happen, brother.
You know who to
I miss I miss a good Bridgeport team. I mean, when I first got into Pop Warner, Bridgeport was solid. Like, when you had Bridgeport, you had to show up and play football. I do not like the state of Bridgeport. I'm talking about Pop Warner wise. I do not know the state as far as, and when I say the state of,
Wakeman,
I don't know the state of Wakeman. I don't know the state.
They kind of blew. What I'm saying is Wakeman kind of came in and it seems like they got a chokehold on the city. Gil got a big following. I mean, Wakeman. I think Wakeman has a chokehold on the city right now, and it's going to be tough for whoever's going to go up against that. I mean, that's what I believe from looking at it. We know they got the deep pockets. We know that it's. We know the original Wakeman was from Darien or Westport, one of them big money towns.
Yeah, Randy, I like to hear that.
So you know, Wakeman's got deep pockets and it's going to be something to deal with.
It's too many egos. So, Gary, let me ask you this. Let me ask everybody this. I'm dealing with the rumor mill, Gary. I'm going to admit that up front. I don't know any facts. I know nothing at all about Bridgeport. My best friend lives in Bridgeport. That's what I know about Bridgeport. But let me ask you this. I know that the Bridgeport Raiders have not been putting a quality product out there. I don't know. I saw some highlights. I don't know what level from Bridgeport. Huskies. But anyway, I don't know what the Bridgeport Huskies has put out there. But let me ask you, it don't seem like it's been quality, and not in the sense that they're not good players, but as I look at the AYF championship list, I don't consistently see Bridgeport. That's my point. I don't think I've seen that for a while from that team back when, I don't know, maybe when Hart had that team
dynasty,
right? And so, or no, was it last one was the what was that? The Looney Goons? It might have been after.
Yeah, but they're in Stratford. They're
okay. So what I'm saying is, if quality product not being put out there, to answer Gary's question, I mean answer his statement. If you're a football guy, nothing will make you drop your ego more than not winning. Like, what do you have an ego for? If the Hartford Hurricanes was the I put it like this. If the Harper Hurricanes was like the other program and we weren't winning, my ego would come down and I'd have a bigger open ear. Like, just let's be honest. It's hard to have a massive ego if all of us failing. If Tito's failing math and Phil's failing math and Gary's failing math, how any of us walking around acting like we that smart, bro? We all failing. But if I could share my homework with you and you can share it with Gary, we can all get an A. I think Luke failing would make me do that. That's my point. I'm gonna try to leave it there. The last time with Hart, he said, yeah. It became
It's always been a business, Gary.
Isn't it more money together? Go ahead, T.
It's always been a business, though. The state of youth football has always been a business when you sit at the top of this. Now, I think I know where he's going with that, but if we're talking about when you run an organization, it's absolutely a business when you're at front of an organization. To keep that organization to sustain, you have to have business practices.
Everybody want to be the man but can't handle responsibility. See, I don't understand that. What does the man in youth football look like? The person that's called the president that gets the information from National Pop Warner and give it, yo, Tito, here's the 2025 rule book. Like, I'm not his boss. I'm a volunteer. I volunteered to go to the meeting to bring the information back to Tito, who's going to take the information, decipher it, and run his team according to plan. That don't even make me the man. You're telling me that people are that simple-minded that they think they're the man because they got to sit
well,
in
we know
once a month for 2 hours?
Everybody always thinks they could do it better. Every new person that comes into this thing makes it they feel like we all been doing it wrong. We all don't know what we're doing, and they got an idea that's better. It happens every time. Every time you're new to this, you think you got better ideas, and you don't.
Titles will ruin a youth program. Tito, maybe we should filter this into the topic.
Well, let's finish this topic and let's just get into it. Right.
Titles
let's just get into
ruin a youth program. If you are worried, that's why I'm gonna be honest. I don't understand when I see some youth programs call themselves, I'm the president, but Tito's the executive vice president of football operations. Yo, what are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? Tito is helping with football in a youth program. He is not the executive vice president.
We're not the CEO. We're not the chief executive officer.
This is a waste of time. You want to do good work? Simplify it.
Simplify.
Just simplify it.
Listen, it don't take like Joey Diaz said, you don't need 100 dudes to take over anything. You just need 3 bad MFers. You know what I'm saying? You need to have a team of people that you entrust in your inner circle. A team of people that are willing to roll. They got your back at all costs and going to roll with the punches with you and just follow your vision. Once you start making it a democracy, nothing gets done. Nothing. Especially, hold on, I'm going to go a step further. Especially with minorities. We can't handle democracies. Because every last one of you think you know more than the people that have been doing this forever, that have been sitting at the top of this and been very successful. You guys come in with these grandiose ideas that make no sense. Like, that's the truth. Everybody thinks they can do it better. Instead of getting in their position and playing their position and just sit in your part of the bus until it's your turn to move up a couple seats. No, they got to come in. Oh, I need my own shit. I can do it better. Y'all need to follow me. We're going to go try to do this. Knowing you can't get a field. You got no resources. You got no bankroll. You don't know how to connect with the right people, but yet you could do a better job. It doesn't work like that. You got a bunch of people that wind up pretending. We got pretend to be coaches. We got pretend to be coaches, pretend to be administrators, pretend to be community guys, pretend to be good parents, pretend to be, there's a bunch of pretenders, bro. We got a bunch of pretenders that have made this space hard for us to keep moving it forward when me and you, nobody else, move the culture forward. But we got a bunch of people that got these crazy ideas of how things should be, and it don't work like that in the grand scheme of things. There's still parameters and an order. There's a natural order to the progression.
Kebby said something. She said, titles will ruin your program when responsibility don't live up to the title. Right. Titles will ruin your program when responsibility, it doesn't live up to the title. Some people, and I don't know if this is what she's saying, but I think that's a two-way sword. Some people want to be a vice president, but cannot do vice presidential work. Some people can do the work, but they cannot be a vice president. Meaning, I might be able to, Tito, talk to the coaches, bring them to football clinics, talk to them about football. I might make a great guy to speak to everybody about football, but maybe I can't communicate good with the general public. I can't be your vice president, dog. I can't represent you properly. I might still be dipping back and forth to the block. There's a double-edged sword here, and we have to understand that some of y'all just need to be what we ask you to be. And that goes along with what's scrolling at the bottom, Tito, so let's get over it. It's the entitlement culture. It's entitlement, Tito. I'm telling you, I'm going to say it again. It's entitlement. Everybody feels like they're entitled to something.
Right, to their opinion.
Let's start with the parents. Parents, I'm going to say something to you. This isn't meant to be harsh, but you are not entitled to talk to no coach about nothing they doing on a football field. You're not entitled to have that conversation. You're not entitled to ask them what plays they're running. You're not entitled to talk to them about offense, not defense, not special teams, or none of it. If you did not sign up on August 1st to coach, honestly, you're doing the team a disservice when you don't sit there and help promote whatever it is that the coach is promoting. That's the truth. You're not entitled to answers on what defense they're running.
Well, you're not even entitled
to none of that. Go ahead.
Unless you're there every day and see what's going on, you're not even entitled to question where your kid is in the pecking order.
No, absolutely not.
You don't have to get an answer. You don't have to get an answer. That's what you got a staff for. You make those decisions with your staff. We don't have to run it by you. We don't need your opinion.
Phil, as a head coach, have never told nobody. I have a saying, Tito. I'm willing to answer your questions as long as you're willing to have the honest conversation. Don't ask me, yo, why my son ain't getting the ball if you can't hear, yo, your son is the 5th best running back. He got 2 left feet and he don't block. It looked like it's his first year playing and he's been out here 5 years. Did you put him in the off-season training? If that's going to make you want to start a fight, don't have the conversation with me. Don't have the conversation. Because you parents have this belief that number one, I can say what I want to Kebby. She has to be professional. I gave you my money. It's not true. The truth of the matter is, parents, you have a right to ask whatever question you want. You're not entitled to an answer, but if you get an answer, you are entitled to hear the truth and not act out of the parental
guidelines,
conduct.
Your code of conduct. Here's the thing.
Act within the code of conduct when you hear that they don't believe your son is the best wide receiver.
You could always take your kid and go somewhere else. You could always take your kid and go somewhere else. And you know personally with me, I've lost good players. There are people that will beg for these players to be on their team. Now, you and your father got to get up out of here, or you and your mother got to get up out of here, because it's never going to be your way when you're dealing with me. It's never going to be your way. Absolutely. It's only going to be one way. And that's the right I reserve when I choose to give your children all my time, all my free time, when I can be with my own children. Now, that's nobody's fault but mine. That's a choice I've made. But I'm the one that's here every day. I'm the one that sees what's going on. Me and my staff, we will make the best decision what's best for the team. Because unlike most people, I haven't coached a team with my own child on it in over 20 years. My oldest son aged out in 2008. So how many years ago was that now? We're going on 17, 18 seasons ago. So I haven't coached a team in 18 seasons.
I've never been able to coach a team with my kid on it.
Right. 18 years. So I have no other reason but the love of football and the coach why I do this. And trust me, I'm going to make the best decision for the team, and I don't have to explain that to you.
Again, I don't think parents understand that they ruin teams. And I'm being serious, parents, because y'all don't think y'all do it. Somebody got to tell y'all this. What happens is you get the one cancerous parent, and she's upset, and she's have a problem. So you know what she does? She goes stand next to a parent, and she goes, look at Tito. He always screaming at that boy. Not her son. Oh, no. She talks about her son. He's always screaming at your son. You know what? If that was my son, I'd say something. So you know what that parent started going? He is kind of talking kind of loud to my son. So now there's two. And then the two go recruit one. So now there's four. And before you know it, you have a team that's 8-0, and the parents want to meet because I don't like the way Tito's talking to our children. The kids needed exactly what Tito was given in order for them to accomplish what they're accomplishing. Shut up, parents. Allow this man to coach the way he's coaching, how he's coaching, and the way he want to do it. But no, 5-3 isn't good enough for mom. No. Little Johnny goes 8-0. That's what little Johnny does. Little Johnny do not go 5-3. And so when Tito was 5-0, coaching how you coach, nobody have a problem. As soon as you lose, Tito, all of a sudden, I don't like the way you run in practice. I've been running it for 2 months, all of September and all of August. You had no problem. We lost the game. I didn't change how I did my practice habits. And what happens is the entitlement culture, because parents think they're entitled to answers. And I think in youth football, we need to do something. I think this year, starting 2025, we don't answer a damn question from parents because they're not going to get the answer in high school. And we always talking about we want to train these children to get them right for high school. Well, let's move it along. Let's train the parents too. Youth football, I'm one of them. Let's train the parents and the kids on how to do it properly.
You absolutely don't get that conversation in high school at all. But I want to answer Dustin's question. Dustin, what you're speaking of right there is exactly what happens when you have a democracy and it gets political. That's exactly the problem you're going to run into.
Bring us the basket, Rodney. We had the altar, baby. Go ahead.
That's exactly why I don't, and I've told Phil this for years, and you guys, Phil knows over 20 years ago I was saying this. Democracies do not work in this space. They do not work in this space because things don't get done, and then you leave yourself subject to when the coaches, if you got a coach that everybody feels is too harsh, now you gotta act like you're taking action and upset the apple cart. It never works. It never works. Operating in a democracy never works.
No, parents is mad because you had kids tuck in their jersey. That's the rule. The referee will literally go around, Tito, and tell people to tuck in their jersey. Am I wrong?
Right. No. You're supposed to. I mean, you're supposed to.
They will literally go around and tell people to tuck in your jersey. And so, as a president, I'm gonna tell you what I get accused of. Phil, you're always taking your staff's side. See, parents, let me explain something to you about a president. Oh, let's go there, y'all. Listen, it ain't that I'm always taking my staff's side. It's that I know what they know because I'm in their position. See, when you sit behind a fence, like I do, and we do college football games when we're at Dave and Buster's, you have this belief that you know what play to run on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, and you would have got the first down. Just like you know, there should be an ambulance at every game because my son twisted his ankle, and these youth programs ain't doing what they're supposed to do, even though they don't even have that at high school and some colleges. But you know what needs to take place at the youth program. So we see you do that, and we see you tell us what play you know that could work, and your son should be running back because we know he'll get that first down. Then when you don't like something, you come and you say, hey, Phil, you need to talk to your coach Tito about how he's talking to these children. I'll go, okay, thank you. I don't say anything to Tito. I do warn him that his parents is listening. Now, I'm giving away secrets. Now, let's be honest.
I don't get involved. Like when I was in administration, if I had other teams, I'm non-intrusive. I do not get involved in how the team is operated. I don't even get involved until I'm actually required to be involved because things are going way left. For the most part, I try to stay out of anything that goes on with anybody else's team outside of mine because I know the struggles that goes into operating and keeping a functional team. And when there's outside influences, it gets very difficult to run a drama-free team when you have a thousand sources of energy trying to feed into one. It just doesn't work. It absolutely doesn't work.
Let me share with them, Tito. The Odell Eagles head coach, when he won a national championship, he was interviewed. I want to play it.
None of this happens without my...
Listen to this, y'all.
It feels great, man. First thing I want to say is none of this happens without my parents' support. Our parents are the reason that we're here.
None of this happened without our parents' support. Our parents are the reason that we're here. Y'all play a major role. Let me keep going.
They believed in what our coaches were instilling in those kids.
They believed in what our coaches was instilling in their kids. He didn't say they told us what to instill in our kids. He didn't say they agreed with what we instilled in the kids. They believed in what we were instilling in them. So we're doing something, and they believed in us, and they allowed us to do it. Let me keep going.
We practice 3 days a week, and we don't stop. We don't take a minute off during practice. Every minute is accounted for, and that don't happen without our parents and the support from Odell Eagles.
Bro, that man was spitting bars. I want parents to understand before we move on to the coaches and the players.
Oh, no, we got to get to the coaches.
You play a major role in the functionality of a youth football program because you are a little closer to the game than in high school and obviously college.
Yeah, because they can't get there without you guys. Like
you play a major role, and you should take that role serious. Don't get into your car and dump on the coach. That coach he don't know what he's doing. Your kid is sucking that in, so he comes to practice thinking, man, Coach Phil don't know what he's doing. He suck. How do I know? My mom told me on the ride home last week. She said it damn near every day. So now he come there, man, I don't got to listen to you. Who you talking to? You. All you got to do is lie and go tell mom or dad, yo, Phil cursed at me. So now, can I talk to you about my son? No, you cannot, because I didn't curse at your child. Parents play a major role. And if parents do not understand the role that you play, there is going to be no success without y'all on board with the coaches. Parents, you have a lot of power to make a team successful or completely deteriorate a team. Coaches probably hate that I tell you that, but you do. Tito, let's get to the coaches.
The coaching in youth football.
Coaches, here we go. It's your turn.
So we're at an old-time low in that category too. We got a bunch of pretenders out there, bro. We got to do a bunch of dudes. Yeah, I think we're at an all-time low. Like I think we're at an all-time low. It's just it hasn't. We all say it's for the kids, but that's the last thing. What I've witnessed over the last couple of years, it ain't about the kids. We're in the me era. Me. Look what I did. Look at me. Let me go out and make a spectacle of myself at 50 years old and walk my team down the hill, hooping and hollering, acting like a fucking idiot. Like looking like a fucking idiot. Like I don't even know how to say it no other way. Looking like an idiot. You're a 50-year-old pretender. Like it's not even them. It's a bunch of 30-year-olds too. Bunch of idiots.
Hold on. So you telling me if I walk down with a boombox and my team is clapping?
Bro, that's not what this is about. That's what I'm saying. I think that's all the wrong message.
Clarify it.
Clarify it
because it's going to get called up and they're going to say Tito don't want he wants you to just walk quietly.
I don't want anything. I don't listen. I don't tell nobody how to act, bro. I'm gonna carry on with my team.
I just want you to
carry on.
I know what you mean, but I want them to know.
I'm just saying that we got a bunch of dudes pretending to be coaches. They're coaching for the now. They're coaching for the platform. They're coaching for every other reason but teaching the football. But teaching the football and accurate football, because what we've seen, even down the stretch in New England and even sometimes in Florida, we've seen a lot of teams lose games to coaching.
100%.
Lose games because of coaching.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Coaches is all with all the with the memes and flyers and this and that, and it's a show when they pull up, and you got people dressed like each other, like if we're in fucking high school. Like it's craziness. It's not about the football. But meanwhile, I'm at every clinic up and down this region, from here to Florida. Every year, I don't see none of these guys. I see none of them at the local clinics in Connecticut. I see none of these guys. But yet, everybody wants to coach football, and everybody wants to have a say, and everybody wants to be out in the front and wants our spot in this space. Everybody wants to do it. Meanwhile, we've seen these people come for the last 25 years. We've seen these people. How many people like this have we seen come? Like I've said it about a bunch of people in the last couple of years. I told you a lot of these cats wasn't going to be here in 2025, and they are no longer here. There's a bunch of pretenders, and that's why I say coaching is at an all-time low in our space, because it is. We've let too many low vibration, low frequency cats be involved, and it's ruined the space, especially the development of the children. It's ruined the space.
Let me say that Chris, I think, got something here. The days of non-parent volunteer coaches seem to be a thing of the past. That's true. A lot of it is parents volunteering their time to do the best with minimal experience. That's
not what we're talking about. That's
no. It is. Let me.
Not what we're talking about.
But
it's
what
true.
he's saying is, you're looking for more experience, Tito, in coaching. You just talked about clinics. Right. What he's saying is, listen, those days of Phil Bryant with no kids just jumping into youth football and doing it in the abundance back in the day, that was a lot. Bro, you see that less and less.
When I was coming up,
getting less experience of football coaches.
When I was coming up, there was a bunch of dudes like me that do it for the real love of football. There was a bunch. I can name you. You can too, from even the Hartford League. There was a bunch of men involved that didn't have kids. Yeah. Those days came and went. I will agree to that.
The result is into what you're saying. I think
we are in the daddy ball era.
Due to that, you're seeing what the decline.
We are in the daddy ball. We are in the Chris Silver. I was just about to say it, took the words out of my mouth. We are in the daddy ball era. And
listen, daddy ball is okay if you know how to coach.
Right.
Like if you know how to coach, daddy ball's cool. If you know the role that your son can play to help the team, and you utilize that effectively to the best of your ability, his ability, and the team's ability, I would definitely, if that's called daddy ball, and when most people say daddy ball, y'all know what we're talking about. Giving your son a position you know he doesn't deserve, and force feeding it to a team while losing. If that's daddy ball, that's detrimental. But if daddy ball is coaching your child, putting them, if it's also considered coaching your child, putting them in the best position to be successful while the team is successful, there's a way to do that and respect the culture of the game.
Victor, we are in the era, you're absolutely correct. We are in the era where the offseason does matter, especially with all the different options now in the offseason. What you do in the offseason will help your case in the fall.
And absolutely. What trainers you get to. Now, I'm not going to derail the convo, but listen, if hypothetically, if you're a lineman, don't go with a wide receiver coach. Go to a lineman, somebody that's going to teach you how to be a better lineman. Like,
right.
I think somebody need to help our parents not just jump in with Coach Tito because he's doing something on the days that I'm off, so I'm going to put my son with him. No. Find out what's the effectiveness of them at the position your child is playing. Become better at your child's position. If you're a quarterback, get with a quarterback coach. You get in with a wide receiver coach, teaching you how to do the ladder and catch passes ain't helping you at quarterback. That's my point. Parents, look, it's now $1 billion business. You're going to spend the money. I ain't here to stop you. I ain't here to stop no trainers' money. But please, and trainers, can I ask y'all to do me a favor? I'm going to ask y'all to do me a favor. Tito, let me ask the trainers for a second. Give me a second. Trainers, I want y'all to do me a favor. When a kid come to you and he's 4'2" and 464 pounds, and he run a 4'9" 40, and he tell you he a tailback, please look him in his eyes and say, son, I think you should go over there with Tito and go over there with the general because he teach linemen. It'll be better served for you. You guys can start helping us who can start helping the family, who can start helping high schools, who can start helping colleges. Because there's no damn way that we should be taking kids' money that we know damn well is in the wrong position, taking them and training them, and then dumping them on a youth coach with a father and a mom that think that their child is that position. And we all know they're not. But since they trained at it, they think they're that. And now we got to deal with it. Right? So we're giving them in August, and they go, well, no, I was with so-and-so, and I was trying out for running back. You was trying out for nothing.
We've seen that. We've seen
so
that.
I think, but let me get back to coaches. I want to say my piece on the coaches.
We've seen that far too much. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, I'm glad you brought it up because coaches are affected by the trainers of what you're talking about. We've all dealt with it. Oh, I go see this guy, and this is what we train him to do. That don't mean that's what you're doing here. I don't care what he tells you. He's got to take your money for his own reasons. I don't. You're going to do what's best for us. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't. And I'm going to be honest with you. You ain't that. Like, I'm going to be 100% honest with you.
Trainers need to be realistic with parents.
Oh, we know.
Research. Yes, Shamir. And a lot of frauds.
Listen.
Exactly. And
even for the single mothers.
We deal with it. Because now they give us Lil Johnny, who says he's a quarterback. He can't throw a 5-yard in route or out or bootleg. Can't do nothing with him. Can't put him in no offense. But he been training all offseason at quarterback. He's 4'4" at 13U. It's tough. But let me say something to coaches. Hold on. Coaches, there's another part of this thing. Tito didn't mention, and I'm going to tell you. You also, coaches, do not get it right to tell no program president what to do. You're not entitled for the president to also answer to you.
Right. No, at all.
As a president, I don't owe no Hurricane coach no answer. I don't have to tell you what I'm doing. I don't have to tell y'all why I'm doing it. Now, depending on who you are, I might have the conversation with you, but I'm not entitled to tell none of my coaches why I'm doing what I'm doing with the program that we have in Hartford.
That you created.
You also have an opportunity in a decision. If you don't want to be there because of my decisions, you as well can leave. So coaches, too many times we got to stop thinking if we win games, it gives us leverage over a program. Maybe that's true, but I subscribe from the belief that nobody's bigger than the program.
Well, no, absolutely right. And every coach believes if they walk, the program's going to go down the tank. And we know from experience, that's not how it goes. You're the one that winds up with,
if the coach walk off.
You're the one that winds up having nowhere to coach. And guess what? The program grew by 10 kids without you. So what's that telling you?
Listen, there are coaches that'll leave, and some parents will say, oh, I'm going to go with him because I like him. That'll happen. But programs that are embedded to community, that's indebted to the work, they will always have youth available to coach. I think what coaches think when they leave is they're going to be sorry.
Yeah,
that's the mind frame. I'll leave, I'll take kids, and you guys will be sorry. Right? That's the thought process.
I'll tell you,
coaches, you too got to humble yourself because you also, if you go somewhere to coach, you don't get to decide policy. You don't get to decide preparation. You don't get to decide the direction of the program. That's not your decision. And I say this all the time to my coaches, Tito, and you know this. When and any of the Hurricane parents that someone could tell you, when plays are being called on the sideline, coaches want presidents to stay the hell away from them. Don't call their plays. Don't tell their kids what to do if you don't know what they're doing. And shut your mouth. Tito, you know what I do? I didn't call a 10U play all game, all year. I didn't call a 10U offense nor defense, 11U offense nor defense, 12U offense nor defense, 13U offense nor defense. I haven't called a play for no other team except the one I was coaching. But why is it, coaches, that you think you can call our plays? Coaches believe they can call president plays. Coaches believe they can be a president, that they can make the decision. Yo, why didn't you ask me this? They don't want to hear it because I don't have to.
Right.
That's the answer to your question. Because I actually don't have to ask you. I don't have to tell you. I don't have to talk to you about what I'm doing as a president. That's my decision. You called your plays. That was your decision. I'm calling my plays, bro. Let me run my game.
Right.
Let me run my game.
Coaches also fall into not understanding. They're very short-sighted because they only see the team in front of them.
That's true. That's true.
They don't understand. They don't understand. They're not forward thinkers. They don't understand it's a bigger picture. Like you're one. All right, let's say you got 8 football teams, 6 cheer teams. You're one of 14, dog. You're one of 14. Even if you take 5 kids with you, right?
Win championships, lose championships. The president don't have the ability to distinguish from that parent that paid $200 and this parent that paid $200. Listen,
the show's gonna go on. No one coach is bigger. Any program worth its title as an organization. No one coach could break it. No one coach can stop it from happening. No one coach is going to take a whole team and sink a program. It doesn't work like that. You guys are you guys are delusional. You're as delusional as the parent that tells you where their kid is going in January. You're as delusional as that. It's delusion. People think, and it happen. I've seen this happen with jobs. You know, I'm in a role of power with my job. Everybody thinks when they come into this job that if they leave, the job is going to go away, dog. You're just a number, dog. Somebody going to be right in your position tomorrow. Trust me. That goes for coaches. You will be replaced tomorrow, immediately. There's somebody that wants your position.
Go ahead.
There's somebody that always wants your position. Trust me. Like, people fight over this power that really is meaningless. And then people think that they got more authority because they're coaching with you. They got more authority over the program than you do as the person that put it together. It's beyond me. And I see it to be a problem with us more than anybody. I don't see this happening in solid programs in the suburbs. This is something that goes on in our communities for whatever reason.
So what's going on? Is it okay because the president say so? I don't know by what's going on, but if the president make a decision, it's not incumbent upon anybody to like it. If his board and him agree, that's the direction that's going to be made. Everybody don't have to like what the president does. Everybody don't like what a coach does. But they call it. The president calls it a programmatic play. Well, coaches call team plays. That's it. It's the same thing, but at a shorter level. So because the president says so, yes, that's what's going to happen. People cannot like it and go to other programs.
Well, it's just not the president. It's your board of directors as well. Like,
that's what I'm saying. If you make a decision and your board of directors agree of the direct, because the president make direction calls, right? Here's the direction of where our program going to go. They don't make minute calls like a coach would call dive left, dive right. Their decisions have bigger ripple effects.
Much larger scale.
With the president agree, then that's what it is. That's what the board wants to do. And just like sometimes I sit back and I see plays that my coaches call, and I'm like, why the hell they run that? I don't say nothing. I respect that. The presidents don't seem to be this to garner the same respect from the opposite way. A board that becomes complacent can sink. Exactly. Though sometimes a board that needs to be pushed, but the topics to be brought to the board. Yep. Presidents, damn, give the championship trophy to the head coach and the assistants. Well, I ain't take them all, so I don't know. I don't have none. I got them to duplicate, but that's it. Please take the trophies. Who wants that in the garage? Right. I don't. Who wants that? Who wants trophies? I don't know. We had the program that was 2-peat undefeated champs, and the president tried to contest the head coach for his position. Wow. That's crazy.
Well, that's because
that means the coach that's been with their team through thick and thin, no matter the situation, gets kicked to the curb. I don't know what kick to the curb mean. But Nakia, I think I know what you're hinting at. And if you want to have the discussion publicly, we can. I think what you're saying is, and I don't know what thick and thin mean, right? Because the Hartford Hurricanes kids have been here since 6U. In no time in the Hartford Hurricanes history, Tito, and you know this, have we ever had a coach go from 6U to 8U to 9U to 10U to 11U to 12U to 13U? If you know the history of the Hartford Hurricanes, we traditionally don't move with our coaches.
You You don't move with the teams.
We don't move with our teams.
Right.
I don't know at what point coaches felt indebted. And this is coaches, y'all got to watch this. You don't own a team, not in the Hartford Hurricanes. Maybe in other places. But here, no 6U coach has ever went to 13. It's never happened. It's never going to happen. I'm just going to be honest with everybody. It might make y'all mad. So no coaches are going to go. I am going to find the best coaches to coach the best teams where I think they can go. Sometimes I'm going to get it right. Sometimes I'm going to get it wrong. But I'm going to make the decision that I think is best for the program. I'm not always going to get it right, bro. Sometimes I'm going to put staffs in place and they're never going to win. Sometimes I'm going to put staffs in place. They're going to make the national championship, bro.
Yeah, your staffs.
That's
and
where
your
we
staffs,
go.
Traditionally.
No, Nakia, you good.
No, traditionally, though, just speaking from, like I've told people, like people don't realize that we grew up in this thing together, me and you, that we met each other as kids way back when, eons ago. But anyways, his coaches never get kicked to the curb. They don't even get demoted. They just don't move up with the team. They're not asked to leave from their current position, unless I'm wrong, right? You're not telling them they can't coach.
No,
You're not telling them they have a team.
I've never fired a coach.
Right. You're not telling them they don't got a team.
I never fired a coach.
Right. You just don't get to pick where you're going.
You don't get to pick where you're going. But hey, Nakia, when you say a team of underdogs in the Hurricanes have been treated by whom? Who has treated any team in the Hurricanes differently? I know you're not talking about me. All of my teams get treated the same. Didn't everybody get practice jerseys, new practice jerseys, Tito?
Yeah.
And everybody gets treated the same in the Hurricanes. Now,
man, I was there with the days we was practicing at Keeney Park, bro. Like
everybody gets treated the same.
It's
when
come
the lights
a long
on,
way,
everybody
I remember when it was one light for 8 football teams.
It used to be one light for 8 football.
Everybody got a piece of the light somehow. I don't know how he did it, but everybody got a piece of the light.
Bro, it's one light pole.
I don't know how he did it. Between that and car lights,
we've done it to protect the program
as one light
well
for 8 football teams.
To discuss it in Atlantic City. Listen, man. Only people that run programs know you're going to make decisions of what coaches to go, places to go, so that you can get a program to the next step. There's some coaches that won't get your program to the place. It doesn't mean that they're good or bad or indifferent. Let me give an example. At 13U, Boots was with us at 13U. Boots have been in our program since 2009. Rich has been in our program since 2009. Omega has been here over 10 years. Chaz was here over 10 years. Guess what? Omega and Rich was not a head coach. Don't tell me I show favoritism, because presidents don't have to show favoritism. Presidents should put in place the staff that they think is going to be successful. Because if it was favoritism, every one of those guys would have been a head coach. Rich deserved to be a head coach. Omega deserved to be a head coach. Chaz was a head coach and deserved it.
He was the head coach of that unlimited team back in the day.
Omega was the head coach of a lot of teams in our league, in the Hartford Hurricanes. Omega was the head coach of Unlimited twice. I think he did varsity. Omega was the head coach, traditionally a defensive.
Right, but he never, again, to be fair to the point we're talking about, he never rotated with his team. Those guys coach wherever you assigned them.
I was at 13 and 14U for how long? 8, 9 years? I took whoever came up, whoever came up, whoever registered. Let's play football and let's bang out. And so, coaches, my point is we got to go move on to players. Phil, you even treat the cheer teams well. I do. I love cheerleaders. I got pressure on me.
Well, he got 4 daughters. Just for you guys to know, he got 4 daughters. They all cheered at one point or another, and they all still cheered.
At the end of the day, we all have a role to play. We all have a job description. We all have to slice the pie. This is youth sports, for Christ's sake. But like y'all said, there's a golden calf at the top of the mountain or a diamond in the darkness of the valley. The only honor here is the glory we get by serving the community.
Right, but when you say that, that's absolutely true. That's absolutely real. But when you were serving your community, I believe, in my opinion, and this is Coach Correa in general, however you want to look at it, you have a duty to carry it like professionals as well. I believe you have a duty to carry it with a sense of professionalism and try to be as professional as you can. And we've lost sight of that. The one thing that reminded me in Florida is the commitment to excellence, and it's going to lead into the next conversation, is that we've seen from programs like Naples. We've seen from programs like, what was the team from Cali I liked over there?
Oceanside.
West Chase. I mean, there was some standout programs. Santa Margarita stood out to me. The Brooklyn, here's the one that really got me, was the Mo Better Jags. The Mo Better Jags, I haven't seen a team that organized in a lot of years. When I'm talking about from the coaches, the team mom, to the president, they all had identical outfits on.
Even the same sneakers, I heard, right?
The sneakers, right? No, NEO Flight, the sneakers.
NEO Flight had the same.
The other guys from Ohio. The other
That's
guys.
discipline.
Naples, completely same shorts,
khakis,
same shirts,
khakis.
same
You went to
sneakers,
the old khakis.
same
Sneakers. We talked about
same
that.
sneakers. I mean, there was a difference, and I believe.
And see, the problem is,
don't have to
do that here, you will be seen as, oh, you're not doing, and you trying to make us do what we don't want to do. People don't get the psyche of discipline. And so
it's a business trip. It's
psyche
business.
Of discipline
Right.
matters. It matters, dog. Oh, Destiani and 6U. Listen, shout out to Destiani and the Hartford Hurricane 6U. Tito, I have to say this. This lady will flood our timeline if I don't talk about the Hartford Hurricane 6U. Destiani, you're going to be happy with my all-star news coming up next week. Let me just put that out there. You're going to be excited. Anyway, Kel, what up, brother?
Hey, y'all, what's going on, baby?
Ladies and gentlemen, she has arrived. Destiani arrived. 6U. Oh, Kelly got daughters too, bro. I think Nakia is on her 6U baby stuff. Don't you can't. Cheer and Dance has put Rochester on the map. Yes. Congrats. Didn't you guys win the national championship, Sean? All right. So, Tito, let's talk about, hey, if there's any young men out there or it can be played for them, let me tell y'all something. Y'all have to stop going to practice thinking you can tell a coach where it is you're going to play.
It doesn't work like that.
You do. Listen, young man, you do not have to tell a coach. Listen, I'm going to tell you something, Tito. I'm going to tell you two things. Let me backtrack a little. I made a phone call to a president in this offseason. I honestly said this to him. I said, yo, what the hell are y'all doing, bro? He started laughing. I said, no, I'm serious. Y'all did X, Y, and Z. Give me the gyms. He said to me this. He said, Phil, I love what's going on up there in Hartford. When we talk about the New England area, you guys' name always come up, so we know that you're a player. He said, and I told you this, Tito. He said, but let me be honest with you, Phil. He said, if you want to get your program to a disciplined championship level, you're going to have some uncomfortable conversations, and you're got to be willing to lose a couple people on the way.
Absolutely.
We did it. And now we are winning championships. He said, I did it. He was the president of a national championship program. He said, I did it. He said, it wasn't easy at the time, but I look back now and I go, you know what? It was worth me believing in what I wanted to do.
Bro.
And so that speaks to the discipline. Now, let me get to the players, Tito.
Well, this is what I'm saying, though. Before you go get off on that, but I can't tell you, and you know, in certain situations, I've got rid of studs, and my teams have gotten better by getting rid of the studs. The teams
get rid of a stud
got better and get better because you get that poison out of the situation. You get him and his parents gone, and things all of a sudden magically fall in line. I mean, sometimes it takes for you. I don't want to use the reference I was going to use, but almost like shoot a hostage type deal. But sometimes it takes for that type of decision to be made for the rest of it to come together. And never hold on to somebody that don't want to be there. That's all I can say, especially if you don't want to do what you want them to do. Just let them go. Let them go.
Players,
let them go.
You do not get to tell a coach what you're going to do, what you want to do. Can I tell y'all players something too? I'm going to tell y'all something coaches hate. Coaches won't tell y'all, but they hate it. Stop sitting in the easy games saying, Coach, Let me go to running back, coach. Let me get the ball. Let me play quarterback. But then it's a dog fight. And you at nationals, AYF, Pop Warner, UIF, YNC, whatever you at. And when the coach turn around, you over there in the corner like this. All of a sudden, you don't want the ball no more. All of a sudden, you don't want to go to wide receiver or you don't want to play tackle. All of a sudden, the big bad bully, when y'all up 30, cannot be found. Players, stop asking you. Listen, I'm going to tell you a gem. Coaches know who they want when they want them. They know. I'm telling you right now, coaches know when it's the grind and they need a dog, they know exactly who they want. You don't have to tell your coach all year you're a dog. I'm a dog, coach. You can put me in. Coach, I'm a dog. If you're telling your coach up to week 6 you a dog, you ain't no dog. Ain't no dogs telling no coach they a dog. I'm telling you the truth. I had the luxury, Tito, of coaching some of the greatest players I think that ever came out of my program. I had the luxury of coaching Ellis. I had the luxury of coaching Caddy. I had the luxury of coaching
Denzel, Dexter Lawson.
I had the luxury of coaching Dex Lawson, Marquise. I had the luxury of coaching some of the great
Buck. You had Buck.
And you want to know what all of those great players never did? First of all, I ain't never hear Buck talk. Yes, coach. I'm be honest. I never heard Buck talk. I couldn't even get the boy to jump up in the air and do a jump tap with his boy after a touchdown. But listen, Kai Gillespie, his brother. I had the luxury of Coach Tyler Allen that was at Bryan College. It goes on. I had the luxury. And, none of those players ever came to me that I can remember say, Coach, I'm really like that. Coach, I'm really like that. Put me at this. Coach, I'm like that. Put me at this. Coach Malik, that coach for us now, Coach Omega's son. He was a dog. His mother, Tito, was texting us when we was on ESPN, don't give my son the goddamn ball no more. I swear to God. I gave that boy the ball 7 times in a row. When you're a dog, young man, you do not have to tell a coach you're a dog.
We know.
Coaches know when you're a dog. Just go out there and practice and play the game. And when the coach need 1 yard and it's 3rd and 1 and you in the regional championship game, when he call timeout and he turn around, he's going to pick the person he think is a dog. Now, some of y'all would disagree with his choice. Again, don't be entitled, mom and dad. It's not your decision. Not your decision. It's the coach's decision. Kids, don't be entitled. It's not your decision. It's a coach's decision. Children do not get to tell a coach what they're going to do. And parents, this is the last thing I'm going to tell y'all. I'll be honest. Some of y'all don't hear y'all kids in practice. I'm going to make people emotional. Some of y'all don't hear y'all kids in practice. Y'all get mad at how these coaches talk to y'all kids, but if y'all heard how y'all kids talk in practice, y'all will recognize that the coach is actually talking nice compared to what we hear y'all kids say in practice. I'm going to say it again. Parents, some of y'all don't know the stuff that y'all kids be saying in practice, and now we know it come from home. Y'all get emotional all y'all want. We know it come from home, bro. For the ones that's saying crazy stuff in practice, we know where it come from. But yet, we don't allow a coach to raise his voice or say the word IT really loudly to gather everybody's attention, because you have to find better language to say when speaking to your son, because you don't want the... Come on, man. Did you hear what your son just said? If I tell you what he said, you're going to go beat him. But you mad at me because I had to shake up the room by saying, quiet, goddammit. That's too much, Coach Phil. You have to find better words to talk to these children. Listen, a good football coach know a couple things. I'm going to tell y'all something. A good football coach know what he needs to say to garner the attention when his team is in discombobulation. If you really know your team, you know turning around and them saying, come on, guys, let's get in the huddle. Let's be good Samaritans and let's make it work because we're going to be positive today. Tito, this is a God honest true story. I don't mean to laugh at this, but the God honest true story. I was coaching in the City of Hartford League, Tito. I was coaching in the City of Hartford League. And I was coaching against a new team that formed in the City of Hartford. And it was a teacher coaching against me. I'll never forget this, dog. And we was beating out. Hurricanes was beating them. And he said, come on, guys, just hang in there and be strong. And the middle linebacker on his team turned to him and said, man, shut the F up, you corny mother effer. Tito, the middle linebacker said that loud, and everybody on the field heard it. And I was like, oh, this kid got to get a head up. Like, I'm running. Wait, what did you just? Yo, the coach said nothing, Tito. The coach said nothing. The coach said nothing to the kid and left him in the game on everything I own. Left him in the game for the rest of the game. Told him, shut the F up. I'm like, what the? Told his coach, head coach, shut the F up. Now, there wasn't team moms and stuff, on the sideline.
What's Jerry talking about?
What's not going to work, Jerry? There wasn't team moms on the sideline to try to calm him down. Not though. Look, if you say that to Coach Phil, the team mom can't save it. That's out of pocket. I won't probably hit another kid, somebody's kid, but your equipment's got to get dropped.
Oh, you're just getting dropped, and you're getting out of the game fast.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got to go. There wasn't no team moms like Jerry that would have gave him a head up. And the mom would have been like, thank you, Jerry, for knocking my son out. Like, that didn't exist back then, right? And so people got to understand, talking calm to these kids, Tito, she said that ain't going to work. Listen,
oh no,
you ever hear how Jerry talk to the kids?
Yeah, anybody know how I give it up. Like,
no, listen, a good coach know when he need to raise the level 9, go to level 6, when he needs shock value.
You can't coach all kids the same way neither. Yeah, there's some kids you can go to level 10 on them. There's some kids you got to be at like a 3 to get your message across. Like, not all kids respond the same way. You know who you could get into a little bit, and during the course of a season what kid you got to ease off on them a little bit. He's a little more emotional, just a little more got feelings, sensitive, whatever the case may be. Throughout the course of a season how to approach certain kids if you care.
Some things you can't get through. Like, there's some things on your team that I need Coach Tito to talk.
Right. If you care about your team, but again, we got a lot of pretenders out there. So there's a lot of things that get misconstrued. We got people begging. We got coaches begging parents for kids to play for them. Like, it's just, hopefully the space gets better in 2025. Hopefully that stuff goes away. Hopefully things come back to the days of how it used to be. I know I always say that, and it's probably never going to be that way, but I think we can restore order in 2025. That's all my wish for 2025.
I need to shout out somebody. I think she's from the Southeast region. Ma'am, you told me you watch us all the time. I cannot remember your name. You did our book check for 12U because the green sheet wasn't in there. And I told you I would shout you out because you listen to us. Inbox me so we can shout you out because I need to shout you out. You did a great job. You took care of our Hurricanes down at 12U, down at Nationals. You got with Coach Larry. Y'all went through the book fast. The green sheet was missing. I don't know why, Jerry, but it was missing. So shout out to you. I don't know if her name was, I don't want to say the wrong name because it's more detrimental. But she was from the Southeast region, I believe. She was from the Southeast region. It's all love. And I want to shout you out by name. And I said I would shout you out by name, but I cannot remember. I'm old. You can tell by the grays, right? And I cannot remember. But I'm going to remember. But anyway, to wrap this up, Tito, the entitlement culture, I think, is doing our people a disservice. Tito, you and I have seen people that we saw parents feel entitled at youth, jump around trying to get their child not what their child wanted, to what made them feel comfortable, and it didn't work out on the high school, college level. We know specific people that we could name, which we won't because we'll never name a child. And That's important to do.
It never works out.
Well, Cash.
It just. I was there when we turned it over, but things.
She's talking about the green. No, I get yeah. I don't know.
Jerry should get an award though. She cooked every night for them boys over there, and I've never seen much of them. I think she cooked every night over there in the palace, bro. Like that's a rough gig on a 10-day trip. That's a rough gig, dog.
We spent a lot of time on discipline and behavior issues. It hurt us in the end because it was less instructive. Listen, parents, you can make the discombobulation on a team easy, or you can make it harder. I don't mean to keep harping on parents, but I need y'all to know how important the role is that you play. You guys play a real serious role. You know what I'm saying? And it's serious. These parents be worried about the approach, but not worried about the message. I had a fake Kia boy on my team, and the parent is telling me to go
to get through to him.
To get through to him, but you have parents that have issues with yelling. Yeah, that's crazy. The Hartford Hurricanes make me proud to say I'm from Hartford. Yo, Tyrone, thanks, my brother. Appreciate you for that. Sure did.
She did. She cooked every night.
Dang, Jerry, you cooked every night. Shout out to Jerry. You know, Jerry ain't that bad. Oh, Jerry is up for you, though. You and Niche went out. Tito, they went out. Did you get an invite, T? Because if Jerry happened, they went out. They ain't invite me, bro. You got an invite? I didn't get no invite.
Bro, we were supposed to.
Bro, recently, like this last weekend.
Oh no, I don't know about that.
Oh, okay.
No, I thought you talking about that night over there.
No, she ain't invite nobody here. I just wanted to, and Nishino too. Just to keep it real, parents are the worst. Some, I think he meant worse ones. Well, I will say this. Of the three parts, parents, coaches, and players, when parents are entitled, it's probably the worst detrimental.
Well, because it affects the kids. It affects the kids. It's a two-way deal. Right. It's a two-way deal with the parents. Because kids often regurgitate what they hear their parents say. I mean, we know with my own son, you hear it all the time, things that come out of his mouth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you hear more than anybody else. You hear him say, I'm trying to get better at talking in front of him because he be wilding. Like, kids regurgitate what they hear their parents, and as they get older, that part doesn't stop. The message gets that much more clear.
I want to say a message, Tito, that when me and you went, you took me to a double wing coaches clinic in upstate New York. It almost 10 years ago. Wing T. What about 10 years ago, right?
Yeah, shit. Yeah, 10. This year, 10 years ago. Yeah. 10 years ago. I was skinny. You got the picture. I was skinny.
I do.
Yeah.
He said something, and I've heard that message 1,000 times in every clinic. I actually heard it in Orlando. Remember, I went into the room where he said it wasn't about football. It was about culture, building culture. And they all said this, and I'm going to reiterate this for everybody out there. He said, if you're a head coach of a youth program, and you got coaches and you got parents, the first thing you have to do is make sure everybody's buying in to your philosophy and what you want to do. If there's any coach or any parent that do not buy into that philosophy, do not take them. It is going to ruin your team. You're a coach out there and you're going to meet with your parents for the first time. I think it's incumbent upon you to tell them your philosophy and what you want to do.
Don't cut deals.
If they cannot get on board with that philosophy, it's not beef. This is sports. Go get offered a job at Georgia. Walk in there and tell them, yo, I don't like your philosophy. See how long you got your job. Now let's break it down, Tito. Go to West Chase. Tell the West Chase president, yeah, I know you won 2. You've been in 5 national titles. You've been in 5 national championship games over the last 5 years, but your coach here isn't that well. See how long he have you on his staff. You want to be successful, want to compete at a high level, everybody on the team must go along with what the head coach sets as a precedent for the culture of that team, the culture of the program for the president, but the culture of that team and where he's going to go. If you ain't willing to 100% go along with it, even if you don't like the wing tee,
Listen,
coach.
if you're buying into the program, you got to play your position. That's just the bottom line. We don't like to play our position, but when you sought this program out, it checked all your boxes. Trust the process is what I'm trying to say. Stop questioning the process. Trust the process. Trust your president. Trust your head coach. Trust your team mom. Trust your assistant coaches. Trust the EMT that's at the game. Trust the concession. Like, when you buy into a program, you're buying into the whole program. You're not buying into your ideology of it. You're buying into the program. Trust the process.
And if you can't trust the process, remove yourself from the process.
Right. Yeah. You ain't got to stay there.
Remove yourself from the process. If a coach says, this is the culture I'm bringing here, this is the tone I'm really wanting to set, I'm going to tell you what my overall goal is. You want to know what my goal is in youth football? I'll tell everybody out there. It's to professionalize youth football a little bit more. Professionalize it, Tito. What do you mean by professionalize it? If we move the culture forward and it goes in the form of professionalization, right? Let's say that. That's what we're talking about, what Tito was talking about earlier, what Naples said, what you saw in Mo Better Jaguars, what you saw in the NEO Flight. We're talking about ain't nobody walking around with their pants down to their calves. Ain't nobody
wearing hoodies and shiesties.
Hoodie
and shiesties
crazy.
And all that.
Right. Like, ain't nobody got on all of that crap. Let's professionalize it.
You saw
wear what you want, coach.
You even saw college shirts.
As long as it's organizational.
We saw college shirts. I ain't seen college shirts in years. We saw organizations still rocking the college shirts, and I still think it looks dope. Like, I know it's old
khakis. I liked it. College shirt khakis. It looked like
it looks dope.
And then when you win the national championship, it just look a little better.
It just look like there has to be a commitment to excellence where we've gotten away from it, and that's my last word of the night. Like, we got to get it back to where we're doing the things we're supposed to be doing, and not the external stuff we see on social media and YouTube and what they doing in YNC and what they doing. No, we not. That's
I
not
agree, Jerry. Jerry, I agree. My staff
we doing it.
Uniform. I told you we having 3 uniforms.
I told him that if
khaki day, sweatsuit day.
I told him in Florida. I'm not with all the sauce, but the general and his staff gonna be sauced up this year.
Listen. It's your boy PH the Prez, Mr. Above 140. This is a great comeback to season 6, and I'm here with the co-host.
It's your boy Coach Career, the General, A60 Army.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something crazy, right? God has this tendency to pick a nobody, make him somebody in front of everybody, and not consult with nobody. You're going to have to watch this back because I'm not going to say it twice. Easy. Hey, we see y'all next week, 9 o'clock. Hey, I'm going to be bringing y'all the All-Star Game 2025. How we going to do it? You're going to love it. It's going to be fire. What's going to happen this year is going to be, for years to come, it's going to be monumental. Connecticut, we are back. It's dope. It's going to be a family. Trust me, Connecticut, you do not.
Don't blow the bag, cuz. You blow the bag, cuz. Let's go. End the streets, though.
Miss it. We got a fun-filled show tonight.
I met a boy today.
It's your boy, Coach Career, the General. A60 Army.
She loving my style every time I'm
You ain't need more money, Tito. You could have just invited 6 or 8 you down to Nationals.
I'm around.
When certain people don't get their way or they feel slighted, they feel like they have a right to call us and voice their opinion. You don't.
I've never removed a staff to allow a staff to move up.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Now everybody's a personal trainer. We know who the originals are, but now if you look, you can find them in every town.